girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. Cause baby girl, you are so easily pretty. The only reason that I can do tonight is cause I know you were invited. The only reason that the stresses can die is cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for the secret outside because I want you to like it. The only reason I can do tonight is because I really like you. And I can no longer hide it. Want to remember your mind then the laces that goes over your digest. Why just tell me that you feel like I do.
This is Jessica Javens Talk, a podcast that helps you transform your life inside out into a life you truly love. This is season 1, so welcome. On this episode, I have a guest that I had a very special connection with, and I can't wait for you to meet her. So I would like to bring to you today and to get to know Dany. So Dany, hi, welcome to the podcast, and please share a little bit about you.
Hi, Jessica. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored. And we did share a super special connection. So I hope this gets like everybody can feel and connect with us the way that we had this meaningful meeting. So I am Dany Bastos. I'm a life coach, a therapist, and an author. I wrote the book, How to Empower Your Kids, because I specialize in relationships. Actually, that's the base of everything that we share and the quality of our lives. So this is very special to me because this is my passion and everything that I work for. You know, to see people happy, to see people connect, to see people having a better understanding of each other and the relationships. So I'm just here to serve.
I love it. And as you can tell, we will be talking about relationships, deep relationships. So my first question that I would like to dive in with you, Dany, is how to build strong foundations for a relationship.
Jessica, I think everything comes from vulnerability. Like when you're able to be vulnerable with someone, it's the ultimate trust. When you can open up and really like have your naked truth in front of someone. And this is what takes to create the foundation for you like really falling in love. I like the term of falling in love because there's nothing more vulnerable than to fall. And it's actually what we do. But deep relationships it's not just about romantic love, but it's the connection and the foundations that really mean something to us because we are nothing without each other. We saw this during the pandemic, like the environment thrived without our presence, but we succumbed without each other. So we need one another to thrive. And I think those connections are very meaningful. So to really have this strong bond, it takes time, it takes trust, and it takes vulnerability.
Beautifully said. And of course, there's so many different types of relationship. You mentioned different ones, but in a situation between a couple, a romantic relationship, would you say that the connection needs to be or is immediate? Or do you think that people can actually learn to connect? Let's start with a couple first.
And between couples, it's very, there is the chemistry that you can feel like immediately when you meet someone that it's incredibly special. And I think it's almost like a soul recognition of some sort. You meet the person and something inside you go whoop. You know, it's like when you plug in, you are like immediately attracted and wired within each other. It's like when you finish each other's sentences, all the things that it seems cliche, but it seems that you share a wavelength of some sort, that you have like this connection that it's invisible, but it's palpable at the same time. You can feel it. So I do think that you have this instant connection with some people, but also like you can have relationships that are profoundly meaningful, but you don't have that connection instantly, because sometimes it's fear based, or you're someone who is more guarded and you don't let someone come close to you very easily. So I think it depends, but you can definitely see that some people have an immediate connection, that they can have this spark that it seems like from other lives or other lifetimes, that you can actually feel, and it's electric.
There's a lot of things about what you just said. The first one that I like to ask you is, what happens when you're connecting to somebody and you develop a strong friendship, but maybe one side is maybe interested in you in a romantic way and the other one is not. So there is chemistry in one end, but not on the other, but there is true friendship there. So how do you see that, and how do you work that out? Should a person wait until the other one is feeling it, or how do you see that?
Some people can mistake the power of energy because it doesn't come like transparent to us, like it's feelings. So it's something that can be misinterpreted. So what I think it could happen is when you have this profound connection, something that I call that people can have trauma bond, that you have the kind of sort of the same pains, and that can like be a very strong link, sometimes even stronger than healthy ones. So they have the same pains, they went through the same traumas, they have like this trauma bond, and that can be very powerful. And one of them sees like this resonance, and they like make the mistake of thinking that something's romantic, but the other one is thinking like, oh, we share something so special, you like my safe, my safe port, you know how I feel, and I don't want to lose this connection, because that's the difference. A friendship is a love that never dies. It can change, you can be apart, you don't depend on be nurturing, thriving, being together. You don't need the physicality to be friends with someone. You can love them through distance. You can have a long friendship and a long distance one. But to have a romantic relationship, you do need all those factors that come into place when you want to share your life with someone. So you might mistake the strong bond and connection and the feeling, because it's very powerful, the feeling of being seen and being comprehended. Like when we first met, when we bonded, we had this, oh my God, I've been through this. Like, it's so powerful when you connect with someone. So we have to make the differentiation if it's for good, and if something that connects us in our strengths, in our light, or in our shadows. So we have to make these distinctions. And after this is made, this is like assessment. And if you still feel romantically towards the person, I think it's only fair to let them know, because also there is no friendship. It's something platonic and you're hiding something. So I think everything has to be open and honest.
That's a very good point. In order for you to have a deep connection or a deep relationship, there has to be honesty and transparency, or else there is no trust, right? That's a fundamental pillar of a good relationship. Now, I spoke to somebody recently, Dany, that she had a very strong friend that she grew up with, and now as adults, mid-30s or so, they are kind of apart, because she, on one hand, grew a lot as a person. She really invested in self-development. So she's this thriving person. She's ahead in her life with so many good decisions she's made. She's being successful. And her friend, which had everything in common, is kind of held back, doesn't have the same mindset anymore, has struggles, or is a little bit stuck. So although they have a love for each other, that connection doesn't serve each other anymore, because it's almost like it's one-sided. So how do you deal with a situation like that? What do you have to say about two friends that go part ways?
Yeah, our purpose in life is to evolve. That's our commitment to ourselves. So if you go to school, I'm going to give a very simple example. If you go to school and you study, you do your work, and your friends want to have fun, wanted to like skip classes and everything, and you get ahead and they are held back. Are you going to be held back and stay with them? Or are you going to go ahead and graduate? So sometimes in life, we just graduate and our friends choose to be behind. That's not, you don't owe them. And that's the thing about loyalty. Your loyalty is not with anyone else but yourself. You can never betray your own soul and your own purpose. You have to be going to where your soul is calling you, and your soul is always calling you ahead. You can always have love and save this space of this beautiful love and friendship that's never gonna die. But you have to understand that you can force involvement into anyone. You cannot enforce them to want to grow up and want to see you, like, see life as you perceive life. This is very individual, and this is a calling as well. So first off, even with a partner, sometimes we make this mistake of thinking that we can impose on someone self-growth, that we can impose on them, and we think like, oh, but it's better for you. We cannot say what's better for them. They need to find out themselves, and they need to love themselves in order to grow. And this is a very personal and introspective, like, lesson. We cannot do each other's homework. We just have to do it. But make very clear that you're not abandoning them. You just like honoring your purpose to go ahead, and there's nothing like that it's wrong with her. It's just her choices and her timing, because people have different timing in life as well. Some people take some time to mature, some people grow into themselves a little later, they're late bloomers, and that's okay. Everybody has their divinely timing. But when you force into someone, they resent you because they start thinking that you feel that you're superior to them. And there is no superiority in life. It's actually timing. You know, my timing can be different than yours, but there is no right or wrong. You're not better than I am because you evolved in a certain, some aspects of your life can go like flow really easily, and other aspects get a little behind, and everybody's different. The involvement, it's in different areas, you know?
You said a lot of powerful things that we all need to know. And I'm sure that just this concept about respecting each other's journey on itself would probably create better relationships between people. Where there's struggle, there would be more respect. The other thing that you said that was very important, that resonates with me and what I love to talk to my followers and my clients, is the first person that you need to respect is yourself. You need to listen to that. You need to follow your journey of growth, and you cannot rely on others for that. And you cannot make others change either. You're responsible for yourself and your journey. And that on itself is such a weight off your shoulder, because once you start putting other people's journey and forcing that onto your responsibility, that's a very heavy load to carry, because we were not made for that. We each need to carry that load for ourselves. So that was such an important point that you brought out. I would love to hear if you believe that love is the basis of deep relationships.
I do. I think love is the base of connection. And I mean love in the purest way, you know, just like, because love is all encompassing, is all good. You can't love, because it means that you're letting yourself be open and vulnerable, and you trust the other person, and that needs to be like in resonance with somebody else. You know, you need to have this love, and you need to have, because otherwise it doesn't mean anything. You can have connection, but it's not gonna mean anything. So love is the thing. I'm sorry, Jessica. Someone is like ringing my door.
That's okay. We can't hear anything.
You can edit out. Okay, good.
So
Sorry.
would you say that love is kind of like the bond, the glue in the relationship?
I do. I do. Even the shared love that you have. Like some people, they don't have love for each other, but they have love of animals, for example. They have a love in common. That's what I mean as it is the common ground. Love is the common ground. Maybe I don't know you enough to love you, truly love you, because I don't know. And that's why love also takes time. Everything that like comes with it, like identity, credibility, authority, everything takes time to build. So love, we need time to build. So I might admire you and have love for you, but I cannot love you if I don't know you. And that's the same thing with self love as well. Self love comes from self development, self worth, and self knowledge. Because if I don't know myself, how am I going to love something I don't know? So I can know you and know that we have so many things in common that we love those things. And that already creates a bond. So it's not love itself, me from you and you for me, and but it's we do have shared love for the same things. We have the same passions. We care about the same causes. Our heart sings the same song. If I'm being poetic, it's kind of like that.
So wait a minute. So that love at first sight does not exist then because it takes time.
The real love, because you don't really know the person. You can have this like the twin flame or the soul mate that you meet. It's almost like, but you're not half. And that's the thing, you are not half, you are a full person. When you meet someone that you have this instant attraction, that might survive or that might not survive. That can be like really strong and fizzles out. So it's not real love. It's love at first sight. I think is the first connection. Is the first thrill of energy. When I met my husband, I had this experience. It was a physical experience. I felt electricity through my body. I didn't see him. I saw him. I saw the image and I felt the energy of him. I've never like really believed in love at first sight. I'm a therapist. I've never really went into the romantic aspect of life. I'm very practical. And I met him and I felt this instant connection. So I do think that they describe a love at first sight, that feeling that you have, that like when you meet this person and something attracts to you, and it's the polarity that like makes you guys like magnets. It attracts and you don't see yourself pulling apart. It's almost you can't resist. So I do think that's what they describe as love at first sight, but I think it's the first attraction.
Perfect. That makes sense. Now, tell me if you think it's possible to have a true and deep relationship with somebody virtually.
I do. I do. I do think that we can, because we are so complex, I don't think we can like rule out. I take people seriously. So sometimes the intention is so there, the commitment so there. And you meet someone that you are apart by like continents apart, but you make the effort, you show up every day, you trust them, you share your secrets, you show them your lives, and you do connect in a deeper level. And sometimes I do think that not having the physicality at first, the sexual part at first, because it can be very overwhelming when you have like a physical attraction, that it might kind of separate what is good from what is bad, And I do believe that you can have really a full-blown love when you meet someone from afar, that you really connect over things that you share and that you care about. And those things can solidify. And when you meet the person and then you see the chemistry is there. But like, I think you can develop love.
Interesting. Oh, you're making some people hopeful now. That's good. Very good. Now, because you mentioned earlier about the pandemic, it was really a traumatic thing for many people. And I think there were some patterns of behavior that might have changed or reshaped because of us spending so much time apart. and changing our habits and activities of what we thought was normal changed. So do you think that the what people are looking for in a relationship now, post pandemic, after all of those changes and us being so virtual more than ever before, has that changed into what people are looking for in a relationship?
I do know that it has changed. And I've seen couples that broke up after meeting after the pandemic because they thought that they didn't have enough in common, and they didn't have this, because when we are a normal couple that we go out to have like interests, we can like take a break from each other, and we have like different habits, and that doesn't interfere because we have good chemistry, we have a good life and everything. But when they start making the big questions, like if there is a pandemic again, if I am confined with this person and I cannot do anything else, I cannot go out, I cannot distract myself, I cannot have my sports, my friends, my soccer, my happy hour, what do I have in common with this person? Is it going to be fulfilling enough? And I've had two couples who actually broke up because of this, because they started thinking that they, when they were by themselves and they didn't have anything else to do, they didn't have any like party to go or stuff to do, they didn't have a lot of in common. They couldn't agree on like which series to watch, like simple stuff, because that's the thing, life happens in every day, like we are living. So we need to see if we're compatible in the small things, in the little things, because life is not always party and, like going out, having friends. You have to make time for each other. You have to know if you like the stuff that makes you you. If you like the person for who they are and not who would you like them to be. And I joke because I have a relationship course that I teach on Zoom. And I say like, people are not projects. You're not going to meet someone and try to make them how you like them. Like some people don't meet a person, they meet a project. They want to change a lot of things about them. You're not really seeing them. You're projecting, or you'd like to be someone that you would like to be with, but you're not seeing that person. So we have to make this distinction.
Yeah, that's dangerous, and that happens a lot. And I think sometimes, some people have the tendency of doing that. I was thinking also about, because we become so virtual and everything has changed in the perception of how we do things, our habits, from before and after the pandemic. Do you think that people are looking less for meaningful relationships today than they were before?
I do think that we, in a way of coping with being by ourselves, we became kind of self-sufficient in a way. That a lot of people that had to be by themselves, they created a lot of distractions and things, and like they got addicted to different things, and they kind of got used to be alone. A lot of people are having trouble reconnecting and going to live things again. Some kids didn't adapt going back to school. They chose to be online. Some shy kids that they thrived when they were home because they were in their own environments. So when they went back to school, they didn't adapt. So they opted out. So I do think that a lot of people that they started home office, and then when they went back to office or they did hybrid, they didn't work as well. The productivity was lower, and the interactions were I think we as people, we are poorer, if you can say that. We lost a lot of personal resources, relationships. Emotionally, we got more shut down. I do believe it. So I do think a lot of people, they created distractions. We are way more on social media and watching things and creating this kind of bubble around us that doesn't create this space to hold someone else. And I do think because we saw life and death too close, that has fundamentally changed us. The way that I think some people, I can tell that they became more selfish because they saw at the end of the day, if I get sick, it's my life story, it's my my story to end, and so they had to be more self-sufficient. So I think the God intended somehow the pandemic to raise our vibration, and I think like we didn't get the lesson. I think we got like impoverished emotionally, if that makes sense.
Wow. No, yes, it does. It's almost like in a survival mode. People just started being self sufficient with much more than before, in a way.
Yeah.
And just also because some of them lost their jobs or and for any reason, they didn't have much to do anymore, like a job. So they were home and some became very creative. Others became probably more self-centered, like you said earlier. So, I would like to ask you to share here with our listeners, Dany, the ones who want to have a deep connection. What can you leave them with? Because some feel hopeless that they might not be able to find somebody to have a deep connection, real friend or a real partner. So what would be one good thing or tip that you can leave them with today so they can carry out with them for today?
They need to know themselves. They really need to know who they are, what they are here for. They need to have the big questions. They need to know what their soul wants, what it is that they look for. Because sometimes we are looking for someone to complete us when we are whole the whole time. So we just need to know what is that we can share with other people that it's going to make our life even better than already is. But we cannot like look for someone to complete us. I don't believe in that. This, like, we are not half, we are like a whole person. So we need to be two full adults, make a better couple than to have, like infantilize adults that need one another. I do think that two whole people, they are gonna grow and grow stronger, and they're gonna go like farther that they would be if they didn't know what they wanted and who they wanted to spend their lives with. So I think work on yourself. It's the best thing, like this best investment that you can always know thyself. You need to know who you are and what you want, because otherwise you're going to be looking in different places that has nothing to do with your soul. And you can get lost. That's the thing I think people don't realize. If you do go for a long time in a different direction that your soul wants you to go, you will get lost, because it's going to take a long time for you to get back to your center and also adjust your GPS and know where you're going, because that's more important than speed.
That's amazing. That is a very important message. And please, Dany, share with us here so the listeners can know how to reach you and follow you and all the amazing content and services that you do for everybody. Can you please share that with us?
Of course. So my Instagram and my social media account, Dany Bastos Life Coach. It's Dany with one N and Y, Dany Bastos Life Coach. My books are everywhere, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, How to Empower Your Kids. And I teach Zoom classes in relationships, parenting, like how to attract money with your soul. So you don't lose your purpose in the craziness of this worldly world.
Yes.
So this is me.
Thank you so much, Dany. And if you're watching this episode until now, please click the like button, follow me, and subscribe. This episode has been brought by Forever Living, the best aloe vera juice in the world that helped my life transform to a much better health. And this also podcast is brought by the production of I Am Beast Network. My name is Jessica Javens, and this is Jessica Javens Talk.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easy, baby. The only reason that I can do tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that this dress is skin tight is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for the secret outside, because I want you to like it. The only reason I can do